Now, you've just fired up Cursor for a good vibe code sesh. Here's 3 tools you should consider adding to your vibe stack. Vibe stack, did I just make that up? Sounds pretty cool. Let's jump in. First up, we've got Claude. Yes, I know you got Claude in Cursor or Bolt, whatever you're using, but I actually think that Claude web app, I think they sprinkle a bit of secret sauce on there. All jokes aside though, regardless of if it is better in browser or in Cursor, I think that having Claude as a separate entity, especially when you're starting off a project, is really good, because when you're in Cursor, it can trip over itself because it's got all the context of your project. In Claude, it only has the bits you want to give it, only has a context that you've had previously in the chat. So I think that's a really valuable resource. I use it a lot in projects, whether I just want it for planning, which I think is super strong at, or if I need to debug something. Sometimes bringing it into Claude is a better way to break through and stop banging my head against the wall trying to fix something. I still pay for Claude along with Cursor, along with some other stuff, but Claude is definitely not one tool that I'm going to cancel. What's next? Next we have an app called Whisperflow. So I've made a couple of videos about this. I've made a couple of videos about this in the past. Apparently I am a power user, top 1%. I thought I spoke slow, but apparently my words per minute is pretty good there. So this is an AI dictation tool. So it allows me to grab my mic and just have it here while I'm vibing out, which by the way, I don't really like the term vibe coding, but we're rolling with it. So yeah, it allows us to open a new composer window. It allows us to have a keyboard shortcut. And as you can see at the bottom of the screen, it's detecting this mic, and I can just speak and I can say, actually, we want to do this thing or this thing. And I can kind of go back on myself and have all these filler words, and it will clean it all up using AI, of course, for some quick processing. And really that's kind of like max vibe coding, when all you need to do is chat into your mic, say, hey, no, change this a bit, make this a little bit more better, add this flow. That's when you're really flowing. So yeah, that is Whisperflow. And also check out my other video if you want to learn more about that. The pros, the cons, and the full story there. Okay, so what is our last tool, you may be wondering? Repo Mix. Kind of a new tool that I've been using recently. So yeah, pack your code base into AI-friendly formats. So if you're new to AI coding, you might be thinking, what is this? Do I really need this? That looks a bit overkill. Well, let me give you a quick demo. So I'm going to take my GitHub repo, I'm going to pack it in here. So what this is going to do here, it's essentially going to bring my whole project into one massive file. Why would I want to do this? It creates an AI optimized code base, which means that I can take this and bring it into Claude, for example. I can bring it into my Vibey side project chat and drop the whole code base like so. And then I've got that context there. I can ask it questions. I can ask it to document stuff. I can ask it to explain things. I think a lot of people get caught up with bugs where they're trying to debug it in Cursor, but Cursor's kind of tripping up on itself, and sometimes you've got to take a step back, drop it into Repo Mix, drop it into Claude, or even back into a new composer window, and then chat to your code base. A lot of the times, I've had it a lot of times where my project structure or file structure or versioning is incorrect, and Cursor Composer doesn't always catch that sort of stuff, especially when it's looking at file level issues. And a little bonus one as well, 21st.dev. So when you're vibe coding, you don't want to be creating components or sections by scratch. So come over to here and you get a good overview of a bunch of different component libraries and some very nice effects that will make people go, ooh, when they land on your site. And chuck one of these on a landing page that took you 20 seconds to put up, and it's going to make it look a lot better. I might do a separate video about this one, but yeah, definitely worth checking out. Cool, so there you have it. There's 3 or 4 vibe code essentials that you might not be using in your vibe stack. Again, we're rolling with that. If you like the video, do subscribe and check out my other videos. I've got a bunch more Cursor tips. And if you got any value from this video, do hit the like button. Apparently it helps out the algorithm. Other than that, all the best.